views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the transformative show, We Carry the Light, with host Dr. Susan Allison, the show that inspires you to find the light within and shine your light in the world. Who are you right now? And who do you want to be? What is it that makes you happy, helps you feel fulfilled, and living your purpose? Tune in and let Dr. Susan help you discover that you carry the unique light that only you can shine. Now, here is your host, Dr. Susan Allison.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to We Carry the Light, where my goal is that you find inspiration for transformation. I'm so glad you're here. I say that every week, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You're so important. I wouldn't have a radio show if it weren't for you, and you're just amazing, and I also mean that deeply. So I'm glad you're here, either live, or you might be listening to the archive show, which you know already that you can do. You can go to transformationtalkradio.com, go to my host page, Dr. Susan Allison, and you can listen to all my shows. And this is for free, everyone. It's amazing that there's something free in the world still. You can download them as podcasts and listen to them over and over. There have been some great shows. One of my favorites has been with Robert Moss. If you missed that show, please go and listen to it at transformationtalkradio.com. So I always ask this also, which is, how are you? And how is your week going? Tomorrow's Friday, so for those of you who have been already putting in a hard week, you're going to have a weekend very, very soon. And I also want to ask something else, which is, how is your life going? I'd like you to take a moment just to think about that question. How's my life going? Yeah, take a breath on that. Just take a breath in and let whatever come up that's meant to come up, what's going well, what perhaps needs some changing. And you are the change master. You can look at your life and you can see what's working and what's not serving you any longer, and you can make changes. I love do-overs, that we can look at something, it's not working, that we're not happy with, we can change it. And that's a miracle, isn't it? So this morning and yesterday as well, mostly I think it was yesterday this happened, the greatest insight happened as I opened my eyes. And I woke up feeling so grateful for my life. And as I lay there in bed, I felt so much grace and so much peace. And I think because I have friends and family that are having a difficult time, one in particular with a relationship that's ending, and someone in my family who's having some struggles professionally with a business partner. And so, gosh, I was lying there thinking, wow, I am in so much grace right now. And of course, as you know, as my listeners, you know, I've been through it also. I've experienced the loss of my soulmate. I've had my own struggles with my business and so on and so forth. We all do. But yesterday morning, I lay there feeling that I had so much ease in my life right now. And I'm very grateful for this time, which is very much in grace. So this moment I ask whether you believe in God, or you believe in the universe, or you have spirit helpers, or you just believe in energy and love. I ask that you help those who are having a hard time. Any of you today who are going through something difficult, I ask that you have more ease, more grace, and more peace as you go about your day. So another breath for all of you, just taking a nice breath in and really knowing that it's perfect. Everything that's happening is for our is for our learning, is to help us be better people, to help our vibrations grow and increase, and we become the channels of love and light here on the planet, which is why my show is called We Carry the Light, that we do carry that unique light that only we can shine, and that we need to shine in the world because the world really needs each and every one of us. So it's always perfect that my guest matches what's happening in my life. Excuse me, still struggling a bit with the cold that I had. So forgive me for my froggy throat. But my guest always matches what's happening, as I said, and we have an amazing guest today. She is Michele DeMoulin, and she'll be telling you about her mission as a channel of the divine. Reverend Michele DeMoulin is an interfaith minister. She's ordained in the teachings of the ancient Essene Brother and Sisterhood, and they honor the earthly mother and heavenly father and honor men, women, and children equally. Michele incorporates Christianity, Native American spirituality, and Buddhism in her work. For the past 20 years, she's been teaching spirituality and has been a channel, a Reiki teacher and practitioner, and she's been giving vibrational healings to individuals. She founded Fiamma D'Amore Institute and Ministries in 2013. Fiamma D'Amore means flame of love, and it is Michele's soul's purpose to be a pure channel for the presence of divine love, to be a blessing through her life for her clients and for the world. I personally feel blessed to have Michele in my life. She's my friend, my sister, and she's definitely a fellow light worker. So welcome, Michele. I'm so happy that you're here on the show.
Thank you, Susan, and thank you, all of the listeners. I just feel truly blessed to be here today and so very grateful and your kind and warm welcome. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. And you deserve every bit of it. And I'm always impressed by your humility. And I was at a recent gathering with Michele, and she's just so humble. All of these people who were there love her and just bask in her light. And yet she remains this channel, knowing that she isn't the divine. She channels the divine, and she's a very humble servant of the divine in a way, is the way I saw her on that day and see her today. So, Michele, I'd love to start. I always do on my show. I'd love to start with the personal. Share with listeners how you began on this path, and at what point in your life did you know that you had this divine mission?
Thank you, Susan, and thank you again for your beautiful and kind words. I feel very blessed and fortunate in the sense that I had a sense of my path early on in life, and that has propelled me in my growth. I believe that I knew about it prior to my near-death experience at 16, but it became much more clear and solid at that time. I am an asthmatic, and I've had different bouts with challenge in terms of my health and hospitalizations and such. And at 16, I had the most serious bout, during which my heart stopped and my lungs collapsed, and I had a near-death experience as part of that. I believe that the awareness and of a path of purpose, I had a sense of that prior to it, and that was partly, I think, why I was struggling a bit with being alive, because of feeling afraid I wouldn't have the strength to do what I was here to do. And so at 16 was the most serious bout, and I was in a coma for 5 days after my heart stopped, and then actually turned 17 in the coma. And at that, during that time, I had a near-death experience, And I feel so grateful for that, so profoundly grateful, because I feel like it helped anchor in what I'm here to do, how to make sense of it, and how supported I am and will be with it. It also lifts from you when you have a near-death experience any fear of death, at least it did for me, because you know how profoundly beautiful it is on the other side. And so my connectedness, I felt being pulled towards love and moving towards love and peace like we can't even fathom as human beings, and was told in that experience that I would have clearer access to that, and that would be part of what would inform my path and work, to be able to create a clearer access also to make it easier for others to feel that love and peace more tangibly and the connectedness with the divine. And out of that experience, or shortly after I came out of the hospital, was when I had my first vision with respect to the Institute. And what I saw with that is that I was here for a specific purpose in life, and to bring forth a variety of resources and channels through which people can more easily align with divine love and light, and with love and the love and light, the flame of love that is within each of us, that breathes life into us at every moment, that when we're aligned with that, we are able to create our lives more beautifully and in alignment with abundance and health and deeper relationships and connectedness. And so that was when it began for me, and I was told that that I needed to continue to prepare, and that the world needed to continue to prepare, and that when it was time for this to come through, then I was to bring to an institute to do that. And so Fiamma D'Amore Institute and Ministries is the vehicle through which this mission is to be facilitated.
Wonderful, wonderful. We're speaking with Michele DeMoulin, and she's talking about her institute. Flame of Love is the translation from the Italian. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Michele to tell you more about this amazing new institute that is encompassing love and light, and really allowing us to be new people, new beings here on our planet. We'll be right back.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer, and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
We Carry the Light with host Dr. Susan Allison is the show that inspires you to find the light within and shine your light in the world. You'll hear from guests who model how to be the highest, brightest, most evolved, fulfilled, and conscious humans possible. Tune in each Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, on TransformationTalkRadio.com, and let Dr. Susan help you discover that you carry the unique light that only you can shine.
Coming down, but it's you who have further to fall.
Welcome back, everyone, to We Carry the Light. And my guest is Michele DeMoulin, and she's talking about her life, her near-death experience that she had at 16, and realized the purpose of her life at that early age and knew that she had a calling here, something that she really had to do here on the planet. And she even knew at that time, in a way, that she was going to found this institute, which is happening right now, and we all can be part of this. And I'd like Michele to tell you more about Fiamma D'Amore, which is, and I hope I said that right, Michele.
Perfectly, yes.
All right. And it's in Italian. It means flame of love. And it's something that's been brewing for years and years, hasn't it been? And it's now coming to fruition in the new year. Tell us about how exciting this is and what this institute is all about.
Thank you. Yes, it has been, within me, in many ways, this vision or this guidance that I was to prepare for this and prepare and create it. Ever since I was young. And now at this time, we have enough structures in place that we're going to be able to launch more concretely in the first phases of it in the new year. And there will be offering both local and non-local resources for our communities in both realms. We have people from all over the country, as well as in within this area, that have been drawn to this work, and we are going to be bringing into form resources locally through the Subud Center. I'm so thrilled and excited about this. It's a beautiful, very peaceful, somewhat rural. It's in the SoCal Hills location, and it's just been a real beautiful gift for us. That's where we had our recent event, and it feels so right. So that's where we'll be launching in the Santa Cruz area, and beginning in February.
Yeah, let me tell listeners that this is Central California. And for those of you who are listening in other parts of the country, you will be able to access this online. And Michele, I believe, is doing phone calls as well. But for those of you who live in California, this is in Central California in the Santa Cruz area on the coast. And SoCal is a bit inland, and the Institute will be founded there here in Central California.
Yes, thank you. So we will be beginning in February, beginning a weekly prayer connection called the Community Heart Weekly Prayer Connection, and we'll be offering that both online through a teleconference call version, and also through locally, and we'll be creating pathways through which we can all grow in connectedness and also create stronger foundations for that which we're offering in prayer. So let me backtrack a little bit. I jumped right into the fact we're launching because I was so excited about it. And let me just talk a little bit more about the foundation of the Institute. And what the Institute is about really is creating vehicles through which we can align with love and heart more solidly. And the Holy Ones teach us that the heart is the voice of the soul, the bridge for physical and spiritual life. And it's through the heart that the divine presence can activate in our life, and also that we can create meaning and connectedness more fully. We can be more in alignment with love and abundance, and with our capacity for bringing through our own life purpose. And so the Institute is opening channels through which we can all go more deeply into connectedness with heart and love and divinity. And so we'll have a variety of resources, both online and locally and through teleconference call.
Wonderful. I know. I just love it. I I love that you sent me basically your philosophy and what is going to be happening. And I want to get more specifically into it as we go into the show, because there's some specific components of this program. But let's stop and talk about heart and love a bit. Why is it so important that we align more with heart and with love, and particularly perhaps during this time in our planet's history?
Thank you. The Holy Ones communicate or teach in my experience, in the work and in the channeling that has come through. What they communicate is that we are all flames of love. We are all flames of divine love, and we have that love pulsing within us and guiding us and directing us and helping us create our lives every moment of every day. And we have, as a people, as in humanity in general, and especially in our Western culture, we have learned to be disconnected from that because we've learned to be disconnected from our hearts. We've learned to devalue them, to belittle them, to ignore them, to think of them as weak, to overemphasize the mind or parts of us that may be what I call the wounded sense of self. And through that, we have created lives for ourselves that are more reflective of this wounded parts of us, the wounded part of us, a skewed vision, a skewed perception of who we are. And so when we align with heart, we are more aligned with truth, with the fact that love is what we are all made of, and that we are here as vehicles of love. The divine I'm sorry, did I interrupt you, dear?
Oh, no, I was just going, it's just very lovely. So I'm just encouraging you to continue.
Thank you. So the Holy Ones teach us that as, and I wanted to clarify, when I say Holy Ones, I'm interfaith in my approach, and I connect most strongly in this work with Jesus and Mother Mary and Archangel Michael. But in my work, I am interfaith, whether I'm working with someone agnostic or with someone who is a Buddhist. So when I talk about the Holy Ones, I'm talking about a divine presence in whatever shape and form we relate to, whether, as you said initially, it's the universe or in terms of Christianity or Buddhism. And so the Holy Ones teach us that as we, when we are more attuned with the inner parts of who we are, with our hearts, with our souls, we are more aligned with a true sense of who we are. We are more aligned with their connectedness and their presence, continual presence in our lives. They are able to communicate to us and work through us, through our hearts. And so the challenge that we have created for ourselves is that we have, again, learned to be desensitized and disconnected from our hearts. And that's the voice of the soul. That's the voice through which divine presence can activate in our lives. So we, much of the pain and suffering and feelings of isolation and loneliness that we experience is that feeling of disconnection from one another because we're more closed in our hearts, and from our higher self, from our own soul, and from divinity. So the Holy Ones are teaching us to open up more fully to heart. And especially at this time in history, it's so important to be in tune with that and to be more fully open to the force of love within us and the power of love within us for a number of reasons, because we can create more meaningful lives, be more expressive of our own lives and gifts, create abundant flow and health and connectedness and community. And we can also create a stronger foundation through which the world can evolve and the environment can be healed, and all of us can be uplifted.
Yep. No, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I love what you're saying. And when you say the Holy Ones are telling us, I just want you to clarify that you are a channel, and I've seen you channel many times, and you are receiving these messages, especially from Jesus and Mother Mary and Archangel Michael. You're receiving these messages, and then you share them through prayer, you share them through blessings that you bestow on the community. But I just wanted to have you mention that this is coming through you, and you're sharing this with us, because I don't think everyone is doing this. When you say that the Holy Ones are telling us, some of us do journey work, and some of us do channeling, or we're psychic, but not everyone is. And so when we come back, we have to take a short break. Excuse me, but Michele, I want you to tell listeners how they can heal and strengthen their hearts, how they can open to more love in their lives, the love that's within them. Have you tell the listeners specifically how to do that when we come back.
Thank you.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.
Shine On Radio. Find Your Shine with Kelly is the show that celebrates what makes you, you. Join co-hosts Kelly Wadler and Dr. Pat Basili as they break down how to brilliantly fuel and move your body and love what makes you shine. Kelly is a professional arts and wellness coach dedicated to helping brilliant women find their confidence, energy, self-love, and shine. Tune in to Shine On Radio with Kelly and find your shine on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Fontaine with Sheer Alchemy on Transformation Talk Radio, and here's your tip of the day. What happens after we shift? An energetic shift can be disconcerting. When you shift from the known to the unknown, you literally are going into unknown territory without the former rules and constraints that held you in check. You feel happiness and joy, but you're nervous about not knowing what's next. Even happiness can be unfamiliar. You just don't have the guardrails. No one's telling you, it's dangerous, stop, you'll get hurt. Plunge in, leap, taste it. Listen to your intuitive guidance. Let yourself step beyond the boundaries that you've known and challenge yourself to listen to your intuitive guidance, to your higher self, and learn what you were placed here to do. I'm Leslie Fontaine. Visit me at lesliefontaine.com or call 678-665-3366.
Let the transition begin. Tune in to the hit show, Majestic Insights Radio, Success for Life's Transitions, with host Carrie Keith. Carrie is a gifted intuitive coach, healer, and teacher who will lead you through her empowering techniques of ancient wisdom and awareness so you can live your happiest, healthiest, and most vibrant life. Let Carrie teach you the tools of transformation that will help you experience success for all of life's transitions. To learn more about Carrie, visit www.majesticinsights.com.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome back, everyone, to We Carry the Light. And I have Michele DeMoulin with me today, who's talking about her new institute, Fiamma D'Amore. And it means flame of love. And we've been talking about love, about how to open our hearts more, to be more loving and have more love in our lives and be flames of love in the world. Her institute is designed to do that very thing. So, Michele, I would love it if we put some of this in action. If you could offer a prayer, a blessing, to open our hearts, something brief but very beautiful. I've heard you do it. You're amazing. And then offer some tools that listeners can actually take with them to heal, strengthen their hearts and open to more love. So we're turning this over to you. And listeners, if you're driving, if you're at work, if you're unable to do this right now, in other words, we don't want you to close your eyes if you're driving, obviously, but you could download this and listen to it later or just go and listen to it at the archive show. It should be up this afternoon. So Michele, go ahead and carry us away on your beautiful blessing.
Thank you. And first of all, I wanted to thank you, Susan, also for clarifying that when I talk about the Holy Ones teach us, that yes, it is a channeling, and also it's important to bear in mind that the Holy Ones, both through their words that come through and also the frequencies of my voice, there is healing and empowerment and transformation that comes through. So this is a powerful opportunity also for you personally. And as Susan had you tune into your life and what might be going on in her opening statements, I encourage you to kind of tune in right now also to anything that you want to bring blessing through for, or healing for yourself or a loved one, or empowering a gift or goal that you have. This is an opportunity to do that. And again, as Susan said, if you're driving, or remember to stay grounded and to stay connected with the earth. And you can always, again, get the podcast and work with this more concretely at a later time. So thank you again, Susan, for doing that.
You're welcome.
And so what I'd like us all to do is to open up to your particular ideology, your sense of connectedness with the divine, whatever shape or form that may be in for you, whether, again, it is the universe itself or a particular deity, and open up to receive it in as deeply and healthfully a way as is for your highest good. Blessed and beloved ones, we welcome you, and welcome you especially, beloved Mother Mary, beloved Jesus Christ, and beloved Archangel Michael, beloved Buddha, beloved Kuan Yin, and all blessed beings who walk closely with us, of pure intent only, spoken and unspoken. Blessed and beloved ones, we welcome you. And we ask that you be strongly with us in this time and in this moment. We thank you for what you teach us about the heart and about love and its power and its grace and its capacity for change and transformation for the betterment of the world. We ask that you be fully and completely with us as we open up in this moment and grow more deeply in our hearts. We ask that you flow to us now, to each of us deeply and powerfully in the way that is most helpful and blessed and beneficial for us, and that you help us grow and strengthen in heart and mind, body and being, that the areas within us that may need healing or comfort or release, all within us that may need strengthening or empowerment, all dreams, all visions, all connectedness with one another and with the divine. And we ask that you be strongly with us, that you bless us and strengthen us, that you open our hearts to heal from losses of the past, and that you open our hearts to be one with you, to clear all that is not aligned with the highest good, and to create in your name and in alignment with our highest good, our destiny, who we are and who we are meant to be. We ask for blessings for all whom we love, and we ask that you help us create a strong and clear channel through which your presence may be more actively involved and supportive of our lives, in our lives. Blessed and beloved ones, we ask also that you help us to bring through these tools now in concrete sense, that they may be of blessing in our continued work in support of our hearts and of loving. And so...
That was beautiful. Thank you, Michele.
Thank you, Susan. And so as we move into the more concrete aspect, again, we are still channeling, and it's good to let yourself begin to ground and come into your body a little bit more. The Holy Ones, as I was preparing for this work, the Holy Ones highlighted 5 points that help us to develop and strengthen our hearts. The first one is that we need to change our perception about the heart and how we have diminished it or ignored it. We need to bring healing to that, because there has been healing, has been woundedness created for our hearts from the challenges in our lives that have been reflective of the more wounded sense of self in expression, and also from the disconnection itself. And so, first of all, we need to begin to love our hearts and open to it and welcome it, to honor its magnificence and to no longer ignore it, to open to the beauty of it. The second point that they highlight is to recognize its value, to begin to reconstruct our perception of the heart and recognize its value as a vehicle through which divine presence and our very soul create our lives and operate in support of us. When our hearts are more blocked because we're ignoring it, or because we're seeing and creating our life through a more wounded perception of ourselves, then there is the Holy Ones need to create lessons for us to learn about the heart and to heal the heart so that it can then begin to express its beauty and the purpose of our souls more freely and directly. The third point that they want to highlight is to give it voice. Begin to give it voice in your life, to open to it, to listen to its wisdom, open and pay attention to it. Develop and nurture a connection with it. And the fourth point that they want to bring forth is to act upon its guidance, to receive the guidance and make a choice to act upon it, to change whatever needs to be changed, or to open and grow in the ways that you may be receiving information or guidance about. And the fifth point is to learn to let your heart lead. The Holy Ones teach us that the heart and the body and the mind are meant to be vehicles of the soul. They are meant to be vehicles of the soul. And so when the heart and the mind are aligned with that higher vibration and that higher sense of who we are and the connectedness with the divine, that's when transformation takes place. That's when we are able to create abundant flow and deeper levels of love and health and success. All of that is aligned with that higher sense of who we are, and we do that through the heart. and through opening to our vast capacities for love and heart and soul, that is our essence, the flame of love within us. Those are the 5 points that they encourage us in working in practical terms with it. The other thing to keep in mind is that the heart is a muscle, or if you want to think of it that way. Spiritually, it is a muscle, and just like any muscle, just as if we're working out in the gym, if we put caring, loving attention towards it and focused attention, it will strengthen. And that's true of working with the heart and working with the higher senses of who we are and what we're meant to be in this world.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that analogy. I think it's great that we need to work it. We need to focus on it. We need to put loving, caring attention on our hearts. I love that you said that. Those are 5 wonderful points that you made, Michele. And I'm wondering if you use heart synonymously with intuition or higher self. Do you think that they're the same or different when we're talking to listeners about listening to your heart? Are we saying listening to your higher self, listening to your intuition, or is it something different?
It's a little of both, and thank you for bringing that up. And really, the heart, it is through intuition that the divine presence communicates to us. And so in that sense, the heart is, again, it's the voice. It's the voice through which divinity communicates with us and creates our life through our intuition and also the space of heart. So as you might be experiencing in listening to this show right now, and I'm experiencing it, we are joining in heart as we do this. We're joining in heart. We're opening up to that connectedness between between us and with the divine. And so the heart is something larger also than our individual intuition, larger than our bodies, larger than the space in our chest that we've associated with it. It's our connectedness and the vehicle through which we as human physical beings experience our connectedness with one another and with divinity and with light. So there are many ways that we can work with the power of the heart to be of blessing. And channeling is one way of working with the power of the heart. Prayer is another way. Healing is another way. These are all ways of working with love and heart and opening up the channel for divine presence to operate in our lives more concretely. This is also the power of prayer, that we are opening up in heart to divine presence and to our ability to connect with divine presence and communicate our dreams or our visions or our concerns. And we can do that as well for other people. So it's opening up our hearts to create a clearer channel for divine presence to operate on the physical plane. It's the bridge between physical and spiritual life.
That's so amazing. No, I love the way you explain that, because I've thought about this before and had people ask me about what is the connection in terms of intuition, the heart, the higher self. And they work together, do they not?
Yes. And that's one thing that I teach through the Institute and also in my private practice is I have a program called Healing with Love, which is one of the core courses that we'll be offering through the Institute and that I've been offering in smaller contexts prior. And it teaches not only does it certify you to Reiki and things of that sort in a more practical sense, but it also helps to strengthen that capacity within us for connectedness with the higher vibration of spirit and the higher, what I call higher vibrational healing. So the love of the divine, the connectedness with divine presence, is also a way that we can bring through healing for ourselves and for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something, channeling is something that develops as we develop in our connection with our heart. And the Holy Ones work with us specific to our personalities, our gifts, our purposes. So they will work differently with me than they work with you.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone can learn how to channel and to open in these ways.
Let's talk about what you're going to be offering. Let's talk about, I'd like you to tell people your website. I'd like you to tell them sort of the time frame of when this is happening. Tell them about your individual work and some specials that you have. Please tell listeners how they can be in touch with you and be part of what you're creating.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. And before I do that, I want to just offer, as I was preparing for our radio show, I did some channeling at my most favorite sacred place, Point Lobos, and the Holy Ones channeled through just a brief poem to teach us about love. And so I want to just offer that. It's called Newly Minted, and it says, love all life each day like you are newly minted, like nothing restricts you, like you've known no judgment, like all fear has been lifted, all pain dissolved. Love like your life depends upon it, and the joy within you can no longer be contained.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, and thank you, all of you, for opening to receive that. I could feel your hearts with us, and it was very powerful and beautiful to receive the prayers that they were offering. Our institute, again, is called Fiamma D'Amore Institute and Ministries. We will be launching in more concrete ways in February through the Subud Center locally, and also with online programs, with blogs. And you can go to our website at www.Fiamma D'Amore, and that's spelled F as in Frank, IAMMADAMORE.org. And you can also reach us by phone at 831-457-7788. We are also launching a GoFundMe campaign to generate seed monies to be able to launch as comprehensively as we possibly can in this new year. The Holy Ones are teaching us or telling us that it's time. It's time for this to come out, and it's really important in creating the community-based, the connectedness in community for the evolution of the world and the blessing of the world. And so we have a GoFundMe site established as well, and that you can go there as well at www.gofundme.com/XX67HKUV. XX67HKUV. And it's also, you can get it under Fiamma D'Amore or my name, and it's called Living Love and Light. We would be honored to have you also see our, go to our website. You can connect with me through that or through the phone line. And also we have a Facebook page at www.facebook.com/FiammaDamore.org. We would love to have you involved in our community. The Holy Ones teach us how important community is in this process and in creating really a movement called Children of the Light is what they're calling it. And so that we can lift up the vibration of the world and bless and heal the environment and ourselves and one another in community and in love.
So people are going to be able just to go to your website and then get all the other information that you shared about Facebook and the GoFundMe campaign. So listeners, you can
contact me through the website, and we're actually just in the process of updating our website, so certain things may not be fully on there. So if you can't find anything, just contact me as well by phone or email.
Oh, awesome. Wonderful. You also are offering some specials for anyone who's listening to this program and who mentions it. So tell listeners what you're offering.
Thank you. I do hands-on healing work or energetic healing, and also mentoring around spiritual mentoring and sacredness and love. And so there are two packages, one for 3 hour-and-a-half transformational healing sessions, either privately or 4 by phone, for 1 hour sessions by phone, for $225, which is a savings of $150 total. And also there's a package for mentoring, which is 5 1-hour customized spiritual and personal mentoring sessions. And that's for $350 and a savings of $125.
Wonderful.
No, I just said I would be honored to work with you in any way I can support you.
Good. And obviously we have listeners throughout the world, and people can also do healing work with you on the phone. Is that right?
Yes. And we'll also be doing more in the new year as we can launch in bigger and bigger ways. We'll be doing webinars and more online things, as well as teleconference calls. And I do phone sessions as well with the higher vibrational healing for transformational healing.
Wonderful. You know, I told you I would do this, and I will, which is have you on the air in the new year. You'll have more launched by then. And I think it'd be wonderful to have you do some individual channeling for people. So listeners perhaps could call in and you could do some work with them in terms of opening their hearts and so on. So I think that would be wonderful. But we're coming to the end of the show, Michele. Is there one quick thing that you'd like to say to listeners?
Oh, thank you, Susan, and thank you again for this opportunity. I think that what the Holy Ones are wanting to say is just how deeply supported we are, how they are with us, that the flame of love, which is the core retreat we'll be offering through the Institute, is called the Flame. And that's what they want us to know about, is that we are love. We are the flame of love. And that they are constantly breathing love into us, and that's what creates us, and that's what's here to support us. And the more we consciously open to that through our hearts, the more fully they can support us and hold us in love and grace and light and help us be everything we're meant to be and everything Wonderful. That they see us as.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thanks for being here, Michele. It's been a pleasure and a blessing to have you.
Thank you. It's my honor and my privilege and my love to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, my beautiful listeners, for taking the time to fill yourself up so you can fulfill your purpose in the world. Next week, Belinda Womack is joining us, the author of Lessons from the 12 Archangels, Divine Intervention in Daily Life. Perfect follow-up from Michele's show today. So until then, this is Dr. Susan reminding you that you carry the light.
You've been listening to the transformative show, We Carry the Light, with host Dr. Susan Allison, the show that inspires you to find the light within and shine your light in the world. Who are you right now, and who do you want to be? What is it that makes you happy, helps you feel fulfilled, and living your purpose? Tune in every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, and let Dr. Susan help you discover that you carry the unique light that only you can shine.